Hey there everyone, this is Raocow playing Luigi's Adventure, and there's some friendly little boats on the side, and they're like all friendly and boat shaped, but here that's not a boat at all. This is a cannon with metal and stuff, and oh come freaking. You have been raised in a medical school, so there was a message here that detailed all the tricks Anna Kitty knows about betting on baseball games. So if you're curious about that, just kind of put the videos on pause, but not like exact. Oh wow, there's some lightning there that I did not see because I was too busy flying around on a hurricane. So these, I guess, they're like they double as trampolines, except they're like not as controllable, because I mean, you know how hard it is to control trampolines. They have like 50 billion shows which are all about, oh come on, sending out some sort of elderly woman to go and get your trampoline back in shape and order, and then by accident you turn him into a luchador, well, however you pronounce that. I don't know. I am not yet Mexican. I still have to pass the final exam, which mostly consists of baking some bacon. And I have to tell you, baking some bacon is kind of hard. I mean, baking a cake is hard enough, but baking some meat out of flour and pantry and glass, it's a lot harder than I first expected it to be. So I'll keep you posted on that particular game of skipping rope. What's this? Whoa! Okay, so this is a hello, welcome to that direction, and there's a chain, and there's a 3-up moon, and I can't go up there because can I use him? Get up? Okay, well I guess I was lucky. Oh, me tools, a good thing you guys are functionally invincible, or else I would have had to fall into the spell of matrimony and liquor. This is a very busy area, I have to say, although I don't understand quite the purposes of shoving so many implements of death in the seaport. Seriously. What do you have to gain from this, Mr. Crazy Mayor? Is this that city that everyone talks about, how everyone keeps dying because they forgot the act of swallowing is not something that must be ashamed of when you're actually in the process of eating food stuff? I mean, if you're swallowing a nickel, that's a different story, but I mean, talking about food, well, okay, some might argue that some people consider nickel food, and in that case, they are wrong. There's no other sort of different planner escape sequences here. You cannot run away from the need to ingest food stuff. It is our domain as mortal to need to subside on the ingestion of chemical stuff, I guess. I'm not too sure. I'm not yet a biologist either. That also, I need to also learn how to bake bacon to become a medical officer type guy. Freaking Super Kumba, that's... You making me bounce in a hole. That, I have to say, is rather disappointing from a superhero in training. Even though we are of different species, does not mean necessarily that we are opponents. So I'm gonna go ahead and this little dot, put on my slippers and trench coat and robe and weights, and put this all into a bag and roll it around in the sewers, I guess, with a rocky background, but they're pipes. And so I'm kind of confused by the aspect of this land. The pipes there, they're like kind of leaky, kind of slightly, so maybe that explains why there's so much freaking water here, and the current affects my ability to negotiate with terrorists. So, you're lucky, Football Charlie, that you are not some sort of terrorist hiding in a plane that wants to kill people by throwing swimming pools at the general direction of their lungs. Else I would have to deal with you in a less negotiable way, which is to say, firearms, I guess. I don't know. I haven't thought ahead that much. That's a bat. They're like the cesspool of humanity, which is why they're not considered human anymore and were given their rat-like shape. The only vestigiality of human of them left being Wonder Woman. So this is the part where there's little clear, nice water. You know, for sewer water, this is pretty freaking nice water, and it's like all nice and cyan and fresh and transparent and filled with vim and vinegar and VH. It's new, clear VH. It's kind of disgusting in concept, to be honest. No! Can I swim up there? I don't think so. Man, this Annie Kitty presents a video game. It's kind of like if you flub a save state somewhere, it can be dangerous because sometimes you end up in some sort of rainbow and then you're like, oh no, this is a freaking rainbow. I do not wish to learn how to read. Reading is not a thing that I wish to learn about. But you don't have a choice. The fate, whichever of those two, dealt its cards. Unfortunately, it only had 3 pairs, which actually is kind of good. So, just hope other people don't have better stuff. Was there a difference in which pipe would lead to different state of emergency? I don't know. This area is reserved explicitly to Catholic schoolgirls age 11 to 35, and Luigi is neither of those, so he has to go back in the sewer. This time, the water's all spudgy. Is spudgy a word? If it's not, it probably kills me. Let's test. Demo accomplished. We have learned something we could have easily deduced without actually looking at it. Yeah, just the smell and touch and taste. Although probably tasting it is just as deadly. In fact, that is probably why it kills Luigi's, because every time there's liquids roughly around his buccal area, he just has to take a taste. I mean, why do you think his face is so oblong? It is, of course, a history of debauchery and alcohol abuse. Not that I want to have Nintendo think that I am writing fanfic, but seriously now. I have like 2 squares of movement, and one of them has an independent mind because of Super Mario Bros. 2. If it was not for Super Mario Bros. 2, there would be no such thing as a dream sequence, and all of humanity as a whole would be much improved. Right football, Charlie, digging around with your big flat head. Oh, I need to go in the lower one on this one. I guess I should have expected that. This is like some sort of something that you could sort of kind of consider either a puzzle or tropical forest. It depends on your outlook on how we should treat the elderly concerning the right to bear feet. I personally think that once you hit a certain age, you should like give back your feet to the city, because it's not like they're much use of you, and in fact it starts to be like danger for the other people in the city. Just, you know, my opinion on the whole subject. But then again, it is my opinion that there should not be a law governing the color of margarine. And in case you think that's just a silly-willy thing, it is an actual law in Quebec. There are laws governing the colors that margarine can have, so people doesn't think it's butter. I really wish that part was made up, but unfortunately it's not, and it's not exactly a shining beacon of proudness of being a Quebec type of person. There's some quicksand going on the side there, but we're probably never going to go there ever in the history of plungers. So this is Alcal playing Luigi's Adventure. Join me next time for when we go around that big fenced area. This, just realize how kind of silly this particular map is. Oh well.